Albatross here again with the Cypher Unlimited crew. We have our usual suspects of AD or Alpha Dean. We have Spigs18 or Anthony. And just as a quick reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us here on Twitch and subscribe to us over on YouTube. We just hit 1,000 subs, and yeah, it's been great, and we are trying to get up to the next level, so every subscription over there is fully appreciated. But Dean, what are we doing here tonight?
Well, we're back. We missed you guys last Wednesday because we were away at Gamehole Con, and then we decided to come back online tonight, do a full recap of all the adventures. I mean, you guys have been looking at our videos and all the fun that we had. You know, we interviewed a bunch of people, but we're going to talk about our experiences in of itself. So without further ado, Ant, let's get into it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the CU. We missed the last week, but I think it was well worth it because we actually cataloged a ton of content. We still got a ton of videos to roll out, but you know, first off, before we even get into this, we had a fantastic time at Gamehole Con. I personally want to thank Gamehole Con themselves for not only producing such a wonderful con. You know, it was just a friendly, almost family-like atmosphere. So when you compare it to something like Gen Con, you know, it felt night and day. So yeah, before we'll break it down by like what we did every day and what we saw and you know what we did for MCG and you know, but yeah, it was fantastic. So yeah, guys, what were your first thoughts? You know, just to say your initial thoughts of Gamehole Con.
Just initial thoughts. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. I did not know what to expect size-wise, and it was the perfect size. Like, this was an awesome-sized event. Again, could stand to be a little bigger so we could see more of our friends, but the, like, average size of it, enjoy it.
For me, it was just good to be back. It was good to see you guys in person. It's been
that was awesome.
It's been what, 4 years since we all been together, you know. So
Gen Con 3 years ago. Oh,
no,
least
2018.
It's for 2018,
4 years,
bro.
2018, buddy.
No, that was for the three of us together. But me and you, we went to Gen Con the year after the album.
Yeah, I know that, but I was saying there's been 4 years since we all been together.
Yeah.
So you know that in of itself was a blast. Gamehole Con, like Al said, it's like really the perfect size con. It would be like a really awesome place for, you know, CU members to descend upon and just get together because it's so laid back. It's just it's a very you know, forthcoming environment. And with MCG having the lounge and stuff like that, CU could just descend upon it and have a blast. So
Yeah, not even necessarily CU, but Monty Cook Games and fans, period. I think that with Monty Cook Games, for those that don't know, Monty Cook Games are the chief sponsor for Gamehole Con, or at least they were this year. And from what I heard from Charles, they will be next year. So they had the biggest footprint of any gaming company, and they had a whole floor. The entire second floor was dedicated to Monty Cook Games.
The lounge.
The lounge. So it was sort of like we had, if you were a Monty Cook Games fan, you had like your own little playground. You know what I mean? If that made any sense, it was a lot of fun. And I believe they're doing the same next year. So I think since we're huge Monty Cook Games fans, I think that actually enhanced our experience. But I do think, like, just to touch on what Al said before we even go into the breakdown, but because Al mentioned something that he mentioned something about for the size and wishing it's going to get bigger. Ultimately, you know, I don't have anything to do with the Gamehole Con management, but I would assume that any con, their goal is to get bigger, right? So, like, since Gamehole Con, just throughout the interwebs and just hearing what people say, they having great reviews. I'm assuming that it's going to be bigger next year.
That is definitely the desired result for sure. But I will say that some people do enjoy their cons to stay on the smaller side. But yeah, definitely the goal of most con, people who are making them is for them to get bigger. Yes, for sure.
All right, so before we go into like the actual topic, let's just break down what we did each day, right? And then from there, we could talk about like all the other stuff of the con. So people, if someone didn't attend the con, right, they could actually, like see what view our experiences through our lens, and then maybe they could see if it's something that they would enjoy, right? So Wednesday was the day before the con, and Al didn't get in. Me and Al were sharing a hotel. Dean came with his lovely wife, and everyone that knows Mike or Stormbringer from the CU Discord server, he also had a hotel in our hotel, and a couple of members of Monica Games. The reason why we booked the hotel we did to start the whole is because Charles from Monica Games recommended that we book this hotel because it was it was reasonably affordable. And I don't want to mention the hotel because I might say some negative things going up forward. Not about the con, but about the hotel. But yeah, so on Wednesday, me and Dean, we got there pretty reasonably early, right? I think I got there like 11 o'clock in the morning, right? What time did you get in, Dean?
I was there by like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So then I met up with Dean at the hotel, and we headed to the convention center, and we sort of helped MCG set up some of the booth stuff. We shot some videos of the empty space where everyone's setting up their booths. It was pretty cool, relaxing, right?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I got some pictures to put up. My wife took some picture and video of us all, standing up the tower and all that kind of stuff. So we can throw that stuff
we
up.
put up a time lapse video of if anybody's been to Gen Con, MCG has like these huge towers that it's like a rectangle, and around each tower they have like a different MCG Monica Games licensed product, and we helped set that up, and then MCG actually put a time lapse sped up version of that, which was pretty cool. And I think if you blink hard enough, you might see me and Dean in those pictures in that time lapse video.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I missed all that because, like I said in the chat there, I arrived at midnight on Wednesday. But funny coincidence, Stormbringer was actually on my flight from Phoenix to Wisconsin. It was hilarious. He messaged me that morning. He was like, "Are you on this flight?" And I looked it up. I was like, "Oh, I am." And we got to see each other like before the flight and talked a bit. So that was very nice. Very nice surprise.
Yeah. After we did that, we went to. I will say this: I would recommend if you get in a hotel. We stood about 20 minutes away from the convention center, and we were assuming that it was similar to Gen Con, where that there's stuff to do, even if you're 20 or 30 minutes away from the con. But like our great friend Eric Frankhouse told us that we effed up because there was literally nothing by a hotel. There was one restaurant, right? And they closed like 8 p.m. So
And actually, we're actually wrong. My wife did find a strip mall that they had there, and it's about 15 minutes from the hotel. You can literally walk there too, but it was in the opposite direction. So, but we just didn't know. But my wife showed it to me on our way out, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would still recommend because there's several hotels. I mean,
right near the convention center.
There's probably 5 or 6, a quarter of a block away from the convention center. So next year, I think we're definitely going to book something closer.
But absolutely.
Either that or we're going to rent a car because we didn't rent a car because we were under the assumption, like this was our first time attending this con. So we were under the assumption that it was going to be similar to Gen Con. And in that aspect, it wasn't. Right. And then in that night, there was the kickoff party, which was a lot of fun. We got to hang out with Javier, Sean, Bruce, Charles, Latia, and they had pizza there. They had a bar, open bar, and I think we hung out there till like midnight or so.
Yeah, probably about then, and then hung out with Eric for a while.
Yeah. And then con day. Oh, that was another thing too. I, like an idiot, I signed up for the first game at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning, which the con started. I was running the Taken for MCG at 8 a.m. And
Yeah, after staying up until 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, hanging out with us, talking trash.
Specifically, I know Eric's on here. I'm gonna throw him on the bus. But every time me and Eric get together, we drink. Right? Sometimes too much.
Well, like I said, I was smart this time. I knew we were all going to be together. It was like, I know I'm going to drink. I'll see you guys at noon.
Yeah, you left us. I wound up hanging out with Eric. And then Eric always, it'll be like, okay, I got a game at 8 o'clock in the morning. Shut up. No, you don't. Let's go to some other hotel.
No, remember, we hung out in your room. We were hanging out with you, Al, and we hung out in the room. And then I left at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say that. Me and Eric. I don't know how Anthony sleeps through all this, but we stayed up till like 8 o'clock in the morning just talking about stuff.
Yeah. All I remember was because Eric he wasn't getting his room until Thursday, so he stood with us on Wednesday night, and all I remember was that the guys were talking, and it was like almost 4 in the morning, and I slept for about 3 hours, woke up and took an Uber to the convention center while everyone else slept, and I ran my first game. And believe it or not, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That was a blast.
Speaking of which, I was running The Taking by Charles Ryan, which they just released on PDF on the MCG store. And that's a hell of an adventure. If you want a quick 4-hour Cthulhu-style investigation horror adventure, I would recommend picking it up at the MCG store. It just came out today, as a separate adventure. You can pick
it is a great adventure. I got to run it there at the con as well. Like I said, it was a pretty good. It was just a lot of good stuff happening all the way around all weekend.
Yeah, so the kickoff party was fun. The first day we showed up, I got there at 8 a.m. and I think it was just like, it might have been me, Troy, and Latia, the only ones running games at 8 a.m. But we were all there, and Troy, Pitchelman from Cypher Speak, if everybody remembers that podcast, which was a great podcast with Darcy Ross. He was there running, I believe he was running Stealing Stories, and Latia was running Path of the Plane Breaker. So the three of us were there running games.
The Tyrant Key.
Yeah. So it was a ton of fun, right? Anything else you guys want to talk about Thursday?
Well, no. For Wednesday, we also did again meet all the people. People from Cypher Unlimited, the MCG
Thursday,
crew.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, aren't we on Thursday already? Talking about
Yeah. You said Wednesday.
Games.
The con started Thursday.
Sorry, yes, Thursday, yes. I was piggybacking off you already talking about running your games on that morning. But yeah, meeting everybody was nice, and we got to sit down and we did our first initial rounds of recordings with the Montica game crew, which was very fun.
Okay.
It's always a lot of fun to get together with the MCG guys, the MCG crew, because they're such an eclectic group of people, and the energy there is always so refreshing, and just it's almost like it's revitalizing in a way, because Charles is like the numbers guy, and he's and then Sean is just, hey, I'm here, I'm the good looking one, that's what he kept saying all weekend. Well, I'm the good looking one, So all those little aspects that just come together as you hang out with the MCG crew were very nice. And like I said, it was just really, really good to have the family together, It
was also the first time we got to meet everyone from the Discord server that we never met.
Right, lots of people.
That was so awesome. And I know there's some people here in chat, and I hate to say this, but we effed up. We should have done a CU meetup, but next year we'll definitely do that. We'll pick a night after the con closes or after the lounge closes, and we'll do a CU meetup. And maybe we'll give out some T-shirts or something, or meet at a bar or something. one of the hotel bars and just get everybody together. Because you know that would have been awesome to do as well. Even though we met, the CU Lounge was sort of like a CU meetup because everyone there was like family. But you know, it would be nice if we did our own event.
And you know, something else I like to throw in there about that as well. Anybody out here watching us, you know, whether you're watching us live or you're watching us, you know, recorded later, if we're ever at a con and you see one of us, please feel free to come up. Don't be shy. You know, we had a couple of people who saw me and Anthony come in. They took a picture of us. And they were like, "Oh, we were," you know, I didn't want to interrupt. We're not, you know, we're just, like I said, we're just normal guys having some fun, and we love to meet our community. So definitely, you know, make sure you hit us up, you know. And it's kind of funny that Anthony was at the 8 a.m. games because I didn't do any 8 a.m. game. I didn't do nearly as many games as I normally run because Anthony always says, Dean, stop running games.
Dean was the exact opposite because Dean used to run 24/7 at Gen Con and never did anything else. And someone in the chat asked about, we bought shirts with us, but we got rid of those things in like the first day, right? We didn't
basically.
Bring it,
so
we bought a dozen shirts.
It was about 10 shirts, maybe 12. I did not do an exact count. We had all but one basically given away after the first night. And we saved one specifically for Tammy. Yeah. And I did actually have 2 hats, but those were snatched up immediately by our good friend Dean here and our good friend Eric Frankhouse.
Eric could give a pass, but Dean, who's part of CU, should have gave that hat to somebody.
I mean, I wasn't there to judge. I was just there to give out the goods.
I mean, I will say this, I took 2 shirts for myself, and by the end of the con, I went home with none because I gave them both away.
Well, I'll be honest. The one hat I did wear, and I did give it away, and the T-shirt I gave to my wife.
Gave it away to his wife.
No, I gave my wife the T-shirt.
Wait, who'd you give the hat to?
Actually, it was somebody at the con. They asked about it, and I gave it to him.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm not a terrible person.
Yeah, but we will. First of all, we spoke to MCG about the giveaway because the giveaway was put on hold because of this con. So we'll definitely include at least 6 hats in the giveaway, and we'll figure out a way to make that happen.
Some hats and maybe some T-shirts. Maybe
easy peasy.
Maybe we'll do some coupons for some hats and T-shirts all right off the site.
Well, no, we could even make it special.
We self-printed them, Dean. So
but either way, yes, we can probably include that. Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely add those into the mix, and we'll make it a conscious effort for whatever's the next con that all 3 of us go. Most likely will be Gamehole Con next year. We'll have a bigger stock to give away because we love giving away the hats and shirts. It was like a spur of the moment.
I'll just tell the story. So literally the night before, literally Tuesday night, the night before I'm leaving, my husband works at a T-shirt printing place. So he came home with an assortment of random shirts he just dragged from discard piles. I'll just say he just took them. They were fine shirts. They just didn't use them for whatever projects. And brought home a bunch of iron-on decals and just went to town. He made all the shirts with the help of our buddy Heather, who was visiting from another state. I forget what state she's from, but yeah, we had an out-of-state friend visiting. She helped her make my husband the shirts, and we also made the cape the same night, and we also made the 2 hats the same night. And that was all done on Tuesday night.
You just sped back the important thing. Everybody said the cape. We had a Cypher Unlimited cape, yo.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Keep talking. I'm gonna go get it. Keep talking.
Yeah. We had a Cypher Unlimited cape, and the cape was like the freaking star of the show. I was wearing the cape the entire concert. I think it's probably funky as all hell.
It was the biggest hit. It was the biggest hit.
But random people were stopping us. People in the hotel that had nothing. They were, because there was a Wisconsin football game going on, so there was all these football fans in the hotel. They were taking pictures with Al because he had the Cypher Unlimited cape. It was hilarious.
Okay, so
We
here it
actually made
is.
a cake for Monty, but we're probably gonna go a little better. Show the stats on the side.
So this is again, remember it's a long running thing. GM screen, no GM screen. Forget it. GM cape.
First of all, we got a lot of people in chat. Yes, no on GM screens. If you pro GM, put pro screen, and if you not pro GM screen, put F screen.
So firstly, let's look at the back. I don't know if y'all can see it. Oh, let's see.
Eric, stop hating. You know
GM
the cake.
roulette's on the back. And then on the inside, we have the reference sheet. Can't really read it in the camera here, but yeah, instead of having a GM screen in front of you, you can just read your notes like this, be a little more mysterious, and it's not a permanent barrier. It just goes away when you're done. Boom.
Yeah, we got to make it a little bigger next time.
Yeah, we need that. This again. I
and
bought
maybe
this
a little higher.
Yeah,
I know when I wore it, it was a little, maybe because I'm tall, but it was a little low for my vision.
And again, remember, we did all this last minute. I bought this cape on Monday on Amazon to make sure we got it on time. And this is a costume cheapo $10 like costume cape. We want to get nicer ones like cotton, like very, that fits our like fantasy or medieval, whatever aesthetic. But yeah, we definitely got to look into options for those things because they are a little bit more pricey than this $10 cheapo costume cape. But yeah, it's definitely, this proof of concept is amazing, and I definitely want to produce more. Like, look at that. Look how, like, oh my,
I'm looking at a cloak. I'm looking at a double layer cloak, so I can just put like.
Well, it's amazing. And then, like, this is the other side we were talking is unused space at the moment. We can put stat blocks. We can put, like, whatever else on the other side. Like,
You know what? Just think about it. All we need to do is put.
Oh, you know what you could put?
Put Velcro. Put Velcro on there, and then that way you can just change out your notes.
Yeah.
Write it down. Write it down. We got to Bruce it. Write that down.
We could put pockets for card like XP cards, dice.
Yes, it's a pocket. Oh man, that's this.
Yeah, I'm writing all that down right now.
All right, you got it. All right, you write it down. Velcro pockets.
Well, anyway, it was the cape was a huge hit.
Yes.
I mean, you have even though you don't roll dice, you have the extra dice pocket. Oh, you don't have dice?
Boom.
Chat said it'd be funny if the cape became a thing for Cypher GM. Oh, we're gonna force it to be a thing.
It's already happening, bro.
It's already a thing. We already talked to Monty about it. We're gonna send him his first month and have him. We're gonna have him on a game with his cape on.
If anybody knows us, we're unapologetically obnoxious. We'll make it happen.
I mean, but for real.
I won't say we're obnoxious, but we are a little bit pushy.
So think about it. Only I had one, and we got compliments galore. Imagine if we had our own individual ones, like, because it's us, the main crew. Yeah, personalized, like, with our names and, like, other stuff that's, for us. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
so the final prototype, we have to have one ready for the giveaway. We have to have at least one that we could give away, a final prototype.
I'll definitely try.
Yeah, so
that I cannot promise.
Yeah, but if I have to go out and get it, order the actual cape and then send it.
We'll talk then. We'll talk. Yeah.
We'll talk offline.
Oh, see, don't give this it. IX Tenebrae. Don't start, because see, I'm a huge vest man. I'll definitely modify me a vest in a heartbeat. This is my utility vest for work. So, I'll go ahead and get a CU one made with a cape.
All right, so anything else on Thursday? First of all, just to go back to what our initial topic it was absolutely awesome getting to meet all of y'all at the con. It was so cool to, I was constantly sitting next to someone, not even knowing they were on the server. And they were like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm such and such. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And then, these are people that we've been interacting with for 2 or 3 years. And, to actually put a face to a name that you talk to on Discord is such a beautiful thing.
So RPG guy said if someone shows up with a Cypher cape, they automatically receive an asset bonus.
And I do want to say one last thing about Thursday before we move off of it and go to Friday. Just one big, huge, crazy shout out to Christian, or I'm gonna
yeah.
butcher his name again,
No, you gotta
Dirt
butcher, that's
Seha.
tradition.
Oh yeah, now it is. He even explained it to me, like the whole nuance or whatever behind the name and the pun or whatever. But he came from Austria to hang out at Gamehole Con, which is mind blowing. I believe he might still be on the way home. Like he went home today. Like Wednesday was the day
And
he was going home.
you saw what was even more awesome is that the MCG team, he stood till Tuesday after the con, and he wound up traveling back with the entire MCG team because they were doing a group meeting and they knew that was so cool that he got to, you know, hang out with them. Like I was like so happy for him. And especially since when he first got there, he was really excited to meet the people. You know, he was really excited to meet Sean and to meet Bruce. And so for him to have that experience was freaking awesome for him.
And it was great hanging out with him as well. It really, really was.
Yep, he actually played with us in the. Oh, I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go. Let's talk about Friday.
Yeah. So Friday, Alan Dean got to participate in a Cypher Creator Program panel with Chris Negline, Gonza Gaming, and that was pretty cool. I was the cameraman. I was in the back recording, but they did a panel with Charles, which was really cool. And yeah, we got what you call it. We got to hear insight, and people asked some really interesting questions.
Yeah, we met a really nice. We met our buddy Gray there. You know, new CU member.
Yeah.
You know, Gray was at the panel. Was a great guy. Got to play with him in a couple of times, and got to run him into some GM roulette. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we recorded the entire. I recorded the entire panel. It'll probably be up sometime this week, right? Maybe Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, that one is it's a bit longer, so the data
like
transfer, blah blah blah. So yeah, it will be up though. Yeah, we'll definitely get that up for everyone to see because that was a very nice talk. Everybody had such great questions, and we did meet a couple of cool people that we spoke to afterwards, including blanking on his name now. Alan Tucker, the guy who did the Apocalypse Kickstarter that we posted a video about already. He was at the panel first, and that's how we got to talking to him.
Right.
So we met a lot of cool people there.
Jack's Runner broke up, mentioned that he missed about cons and seminars. I will say this, and this is not necessarily a major critique, but I think Gamehole Con could do a better job of letting you know when panels are actually going on. Because currently, the only way of knowing is by reading the pamphlet book. And maybe because it's a smaller con, but when you go to like bigger cons like PAX or Gen Con or New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, they have like signage all over the place saying, dictating where the panels are, like what, especially big panels, right? And Gamehole Con didn't have that. And I'm usually a fan of panels, but I found that every time I heard of a panel that I wanted to go to, it was already over. Or using the app. But yeah, most people are not walking around with their phone in their hand. You know what I mean?
Yes. I agree with that.
That's just a slight little critique.
And then that evening, after panels and running all the other games and stuff that we ran, we got a treat. We actually got to play in a horror game that Charles Ryan is developing. He doesn't know if he's gonna put it out as another one, but it was freaking great. It was a TPK too. we all got wasted. It was awesome though.
Yeah, and most likely, this will probably be an adventure without going too deep in next year's Gamehole Con.
God, I hope so.
That's how it usually is. Charles play tests it and then he designs it for the con.
If that's a runnable adventure for the con next year, I'm definitely gonna run that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we all died, And Al could have survived, but he didn't read the cue.
It was so we had two other players aside from us three. It was us three, Christian or Dirt Seha. I'm probably butchering it, and Chris. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's Latia's significant other.
Correct.
Yeah. We all played, and up until the end, like everybody was dying off one by one, and then at the very end, it was just me and Chris. And yeah, we did not make the right decisions to not go into too much detail.
After all of our sacrifices, I mean, come on, it was heroic sacrifices. I mean, Anthony,
Yeah,
come to me.
it was definitely, but it was still a good, again, a
It was
TPK right at the
great. No,
very
it was,
end.
it,
Yeah,
was, it was a lot of fun.
chef's kiss way to end.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. So,
But yeah, on top of that, on Friday, in the midst of all that, between the panel and the game at nighttime, me and Anthony went, and Dean too, went all around the dealer's room, the vendor hall, and spoke to many, many people. You've probably already seen some of the videos if you check out our YouTube channel. But yeah, we spoke to a lot of companies, a lot of individuals as well. Like, again, I'm probably gonna miss a couple, but we spoke to like Free League Games, Chaosium Inc. We spoke to Goodman Games. We spoke to an author named Jerry Shepard, right, Jerry?
yeah, Jerry Shepard.
We spoke to an artist named Dan Hauser. His video is coming up.
Small God Games.
Matter
yes,
of fact, I got to
so
put the
many.
picture up. I commissioned it. Got a commission from Dan Hauser. It was pretty cool. He did a commission for me. We talked to Frog God Games. We talked to Bill. We talked to Bill Webb. I mean, come on.
That was awesome. Yeah,
You
that
know,
was awesome.
I didn't have my camera, but I actually ran into Ed Greenwood and was able to speak with him. So it's like cool as hell just to, see all these people and talk to these people.
And
Speaking
I
of which, on Wednesday, I spoke to Ed Greenwood about an interview, right? And I totally effed that up because I was supposed to go back and see him. And we were so busy, I never did. So I never got the full Ed Greenwood interview.
Right. And then I saw him and my phone was dead. That's what I'm saying. And when I saw him, my phone was dead. It's crazy.
Guys wants us to shamelessly plug Mystery Fresh Pit brochure.
Oh shoot! I would just show mine, but I don't know where it is right now.
All my stuff is.
For those that don't know, Gonza, Chris was playtesting Mystery Flesh Pit, and if you watch a video, you'll definitely see. But it looks like a phenomenal product, and he had the best props, y'all. He had this brochure. He had like these old school badges. What you call it?
He had patches, like to go on your uniform. Yeah. He had T-shirts. The presentation is crazy because it reminds you of like somebody's political. Like the shirts look like like they're like it's a politician. Like for the T-shirts for trying to get voted into office and stuff, elected into office. It's great stuff.
And he was running demos the whole con. So a lot of people got to sit there and play it. And personally, everyone that got up from that table that I spoke to had a great time and were really excited. So I was excited prior to Gamehole Con for the Chris's project. But now that I see the feedback that everyone was getting up for the playtest, I know it's going to be kick-ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely very exciting. And that little brochure was so cool. So many people were like, "Oh my gosh, it looks like a real brochure for like a national park or something." It's so cool.
I have it in my bag.
Mine is out in the other room. But the other thing that everybody should remember too, go to the website. There is a Mystery Flesh Pit website.
Oh yeah, post that link, Gonza.
Go to the link, check it out. Because this is like a world building thing that somebody did over the course of 3 years. And now they've sanctioned Chris to turn it into an RPG. And it's, like I said, it's phenomenal. It's already a great product idea. And then, Chris is going to cipherize it. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a lot of fun,
And I do want to say one last thing before we move on from Friday because I just wanted to interject for a hot second
You
about
mean
the bill.
Saturday?
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting my days all messed up. But either way, the Bill Webb thing was hilarious because I don't know anybody, right? So we see people, we saw Ed Greenwood, and I don't know who that is, and Ant and Dean are like, oh my God, yeah, whatever. But it's funny, we go in to interview that booth. What's the name? Frog God Games. Is that was
Yeah,
that
the
booth?
Frog Got Games, Bill
And
Webb.
we just go into it, like there was no hesitation, we just go into it. It was fine, they talked, chit chat, it was a great video. And then afterwards Anthony was like, holy shit, I didn't realize that was Bill fucking Webb. And I'm just like, I'm like, who? He's like, yo, that's Bill Webb.
You know
Me
what's
and me
funny?
and me and
Me and Dean, we see all the modern game designers, and like, yo, we appreciate everything they do, right? Like all the modern game designers. But me and Dean, since we're a bunch of old farts, we geek out over old school.
we were fanboying. I mean, we were fanboying, no lie.
It was quite literal.
When we see the pioneers, me and Dean act like we're 12 years
Yo,
old.
it was serious. It's like, yo, Anthony was literally like crouching down, talking like, yo, that was Bill Webb. Yo, that was Bill Webb.
we was like, it was actually a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, but and it's crazy because some of these guys, like we're saying, they've been doing this stuff for 40 years, 45 years. You know, these are guys who were, you know, doing this stuff when I was first picking up the books.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to be able to talk to them. And what's even cooler though is that everybody you seem to run into is so forthcoming. They're, you know, they don't walk around aloof. They hey, how you doing? Let's talk. You whatever. You know, there was no ego and no, you know, no gatekeeping. It was just really cool, you know. And like we said, you know, to be able to look at somebody like Bill Webb and you know his stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah, I always just geek out because those you know, pioneer designers, those like Bill Webb was part of that second generation of D&D designers. You know, like he was that. You know,
Well, remember he worked with Gary. He worked with Gary Gygax. He was
yeah,
like
I know,
first
but
in.
he started
Yeah.
publishing stuff in second edition.
Yeah,
you know?
second edition time.
And that was
right.
like more my teenage years. You know what I mean? So like he's a name that I see a lot in books that I know I was personally using. You know, like you know, just like it's like Kevin Stambada from Palladium Games. You know what I mean? Like somebody else that may not be, but those were my rock stars in ninth grade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So, you know, I always have a special place for those, you know, those designers.
So yeah. So moving on, guys. I mean, do we have anything else to say about Friday?
I'll bust his ass on Friday. I want to tell that story.
Oh, you
yeah,
mean
that
falling
was funny.
down?
When he fell out the chair.
We were recording a video with somebody for MCG. I think it might have been Javier.
I think it was Tammy.
It might have been Tammy. But I was trying to be cool. And, you know, we were recording off of two iPads, right? And I was trying to be cool. So instead of like just backing the chair up, he was leaning back. And I don't know what happened. We literally just finished filming the show, and I turned around. I was on the floor. It was hilarious.
So I can explain exactly what happened. So we recorded. I had to push my seat away from the table to get a good angle to sit down and still record. And after the video, I got up and approached the table. You know, physically stood up and approached the table and started talking. You know, getting into talking whatever we're talking about. And my body assumed that the chair was directly behind me. And then I went to sit down. The chair was not directly behind me. So I went straight to the floor.
That was hilarious. So, all right, guys. So we're gonna move on to Saturday. Now, Saturday was like a whirlwind of a day. I mean, there was some games and stuff that happened early in the day. I
also ran the Taken again on Saturday.
You ran the Taken. I ran Skilling Stories for the Devil, which I don't care what anybody says. If you haven't experienced Skilling Stories for the Devil, do yourself a favor. It is probably one of the best out-of-the-box games that you can actually sit down and play It is definitely you can run a session in 2 to 4 hours. 3 hours is about the sweet spot. It's just a great game. I mean, literally all the prep is actually role playing in of itself. You literally are building characters, but building characters is a role playing is a role playing exercise. Setting up the heist is a role playing exercise. It is broken down into Act 1, 2, and 3, and it's just a great product in general. I love running Stealing Stories for the Devil. I've run it on more than one occasion. I mean, like, Gen Con, I ran it several times. At Gamehole, I ran it a couple of times. People, do yourself a favor and, have some fun with that one, because Stealing Stories for the Devil is a great product. But with that being said, that was what happened early in the day. At 7 o'clock, they shut the lounge down.
Wait. Before you go to the party, we also we went and they had a LARPing. They had a LARPing event where you could go and it was totally free. You pick up swords, and Al and Dean went and beat the crap out of each other. We shot that. We interviewed the people from the LARPing. It was a hell of fun. They were all in character. It was totally free. If you have little kids, that's a great thing to take. It's interactive. And then we had Al and Dean go and fight, and we recorded that. It's going to be up. And Dean beat the crap out of Al. I should have said that because they would ruin the video. But Dean beat the crap out of Al for like 2 turns.
Yeah, how you gonna say I shouldn't say that? It's gonna ruin the video, and then you just repeated it. But no, that was super fun. I will just admit to this right now because you're gonna see it in the video. We made one of our first major goofs, and I think it was one of our only major goofs with the recording was for the fighting part. We first interviewed I forget the gentleman's name, but the gentleman who introduced us to it and told us all about their LARPing and like how there's levels and stuff, and there's kingdoms all across the United States who participate in this. And then we moved on over to the fighting, and we had to do the fighting in another room because me and Dean chose unconventional weapons, much bigger than most people probably would have. And we needed a tall ceiling. But as part of that, I figured we should take our mics off, so they don't get damaged or anything, so you don't hear the clacking of whatever on our mics. And me being a dummy did not take the dongle for the mics off of the iPad, so there's no sound. So there will be some fun voiceovers for that little fight scene. So be on the lookout for that. That should be pretty fun. Again, regardless of the flub, we're going to turn it into something fun. And yeah, you'll see that in the coming days.
Yeah, it was hella fun watching you guys beat the crap out of each other. Not gonna lie.
I wanted to do it more, but we just didn't really have the time.
Yeah.
We just kept doing other stuff. It wasn't, we just was like, so we got to prioritize, next time we go, we just gonna have to kind of set ourselves up with a schedule on various things to do so we can kind of get more stuff in, because we were just.
Sounds like something I said on Wednesday. Let's write a schedule.
To be fair, I wasn't there on Wednesday, so I actually was not part of that conversation, but I probably would have sided with Anthony.
Yeah, we probably should have written the schedule. I mean, I wasn't against writing the schedule. We just never wrote a schedule. We started drinking and hanging out, and the rest is history.
And then the schedule was completely out the window, I guess, by the time I got there at midnight. So, or I guess around 1 or whatever I got.
By the time you got there, we were already,
yes.
It was hella fun. And then, Dean, you could go into what we did afterwards.
So that night, 7 o'clock, they basically took over the lounge, shut everything down, no more games. You came upstairs. As you came through, you got a ticket for a raffle. You got a door prize, or no, let me rephrase it. It wasn't a prize. It was a gift. Everybody got birthday presents because it's Monty Cook's 10th anniversary. It was actually pretty doggone nice. Not only did they have cake and stuff for their 10th anniversary, but they recognized our 5th anniversary had, little individual cakes. It was absolutely awesome. You got to mingle, interact. There was activities. Monty Cook gave away tons of stuff. Oh my God! Whoever won the Numenera signed editions, I'm so jealous. They had the
It was number 13.
yeah,
I
number
forget
13
I forget of how many, but number 13 of the first prints of Discovery and Destiny
signed by
Yeah.
Monty Cook and the artist.
First of all, they literally had like over 25 prizes because every like 30
Every hour
It was like every 45 minutes.
or 45 minutes.
they were giving away
Mouse
like
pads.
4 or 5 prizes. Also, they had free ice cream and free alcohol,
Yes.
which
Oh, wait a minute, and don't forget
the perfect combination.
and don't forget all the chocolate. Remember, and they had critical hit cookies there too. They had tons of critical hit cookies.
Yeah.
It was delicious. And I don't know how I already know Anthony's answers to this, but I'm a sentimental type. I still have my candle from my little cake that they gave us.
I got
So
mine.
everybody's little cake had a candle on it, like the MCG crew and then us three as well. And they sang us happy, like I don't know who initiated that, but they started singing happy birthday for MCG and then us included, I guess, because we were up front. And yeah, I definitely am going to hold on to this for a long time.
First of all, I will say this: the entire Monica Games team were nothing but phenomenal to us throughout the entire convention, and for them to acknowledge our Discord server on their biggest night was probably the most gracious thing and honor they could bestow upon us. You know, I know I could speak for the both of these gentlemen here that it was so heartwarming, and we felt so appreciated. We felt like we were part of the family, and there's a reason why we chose Monica Games to be associated with and to create a server for and build our content around, is because they just fabulous human beings.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I got a little overwhelmed. It was a little choked up situation because we just did this because we like gaming. We never expected to be sitting here, 5 years later, talking to you guys like we do, and people knowing us and all of this, and then to be acknowledged by, MCG, and be acknowledged by all of you. It's huge.
It's not even about being acknowledged by. It's them. All this happened because of people on the Discord server.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said, because of you out there.
We're just a vessel for the entire CU community. Like, it's that acknowledgement doesn't go to us directly. It goes to all 4,000 people on the server. Like it's what you call it. It's us as a collective that
right.
I'm just gonna throw out a King of the Hill quote here because I feel like it's applicable. It wasn't done by us. It was done through us.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely. There it is.
And the through us was all of y'all. Y'all all did, like, we wouldn't be this without anybody, And again, I still can't believe that we're at this size. And I guess this is a good time to mention it. If Spoops was here, she got on me constantly about one of the first things I said was, and this was like around 500 members or so. I was saying, I expected this server to be 30 people just, BSing about games, playing Cypher System. And now look at us like, oh man, it's been a ride.
Right.
Yeah, and just to have all your guys chatting with us and playing with us, it's an honor just to meet and to game and to chat with every single one of you. And it's a Cypher Unlimited is everybody together.
Exactly. That's why we're unlimited, because of all of you. So
the 10th anniversary party was awesome. Once again, I had too much to drink. Once again, we stood way past the party. We hung out with everyone that was there. I sound like an alcoholic, and I never drink, yo. I only drank. Gamehole Con convention.
Well, I mean, we can't really say too much, but somehow we kept getting free drink tickets. I don't know where they kept coming from. They just kept appearing in my pocket.
No, seriously, they just kept handing us those things, and I don't ever drink either. I had one, like we had one shot early. I think that was Friday or something. That one shot, I was kind of tipsy already. And then during the night of the party, I had 3 drinks, and that was a lot for me. Again, I don't think I was drunk or anything, but I was definitely feeling a kind of way.
You were a social butterfly.
But yeah, after the party, we did stay back. We chatted with a lot of people. We got to meet Char's, one of the Golden One's sister, and her son, which is Char's nephew. Awesome
Yeah.
people.
Awesome. I got to talk to him for a little while. It was
Yeah, young David was awesome. I can't wait to we talked to his mom. He's supposed to come on the server and play a game with us. That was very nice. It was really good to see Shar and Rob. It was great to see Troy Pitchelman was there, which was awesome.
yeah, that was awesome. I haven't seen Troy since Gen Con 2018. That was great to see him.
So
Graphic novelty wife, I'm assuming that what you call it, Elaine on the server. What's your name on the Discord server?
I'm pretty sure that again, Eileen.
Eileen, yeah.
Yeah,
Eileen put, I looked up and the whole MCG crew did. That's a fact. We were like, we broke past, we hung out in the lines past everyone from MCG. Like, it was like literally like just the fans hanging out in the lounge. They just left. And then we sort of took over. It was awesome meeting you, Eileen, your husband as well. We got to chill. It was great to see.
Brandon is also in the chat. If that's her husband, I could be wrong, but yeah, he's also in the chat. It's IX Tenebrae. Dean mentioned him earlier.
Yeah. Someone's put him in my pocket. Was that you, Brandon?
Yes. But yeah, it was awesome. We had nice long chats. Like, it was after the party, so the crowd wasn't nearly as big. So we got a chance to really like talk, and it was nice. It was very nice just chatting with people, and that's when Anthony kind of geeked out. He got to meet the Gaming and BS dudes. Again, I don't really know them too well, but yeah, I think it was Eileen pointed out, oh hey, Gaming BS is right there, and I immediately turned to Anthony. Hey Anthony, it's them over there, and he freaked out, ran over to them.
Like, if anybody knows me, or knows what our dynamic is, I'm sort of like the producer, right? And I'm the one that was always bringing other shows as reference. And when we first started, this is a true story, when we first started recording videos, we had the discussion whether or not we could curse or not. And I was like, fuck that, Gaming and BS curses, we're gonna curse. And we've kept that from day one. I've been listening to Game and BS. They just recently stopped that show, but I was listening to Game and BS from day one. So actually meeting Sean was actually a highlight of my con. It was actually really cool. I would say Gaming and BS and Cypher Speak were probably the inspirations for our show. So now both of those names are scratched off my bucket list, because I, got to meet and talk to both of them. And I'm in contact with Sean about getting them to come on here and, BS with us. But
that'll definitely be fun.
Right. And I mean,
and Sean, because they were the inspiration for that.
And you talking about the Gaming and BS people, we met them, but we met a ton of other content creators out there as well. People who do shows. We met the RPG bot guys. We met, I can't even think of everybody we met, but we met a lot of people. We got a lot of cards. We got a lot of things to go through. So, Gamehole Con, I think, as a whole, was a massive, media dump for us. We were able to make a lot of connections, talk to a lot of people, see a lot of things, get a lot of ideas. So it was actually a great network spot. Exactly, Eric. Awesome.
I had a phenomenal time. Sunday, unfortunately, me and Al had early flights. We had to leave. We were both heading to the airport. Oh, that was another thing. We both. Let's go back to Saturday. Once again, we were drinking, and you guys are gonna see there's a common denominator here. Once again, Dean left us. And once again, Eric Frankhouse showed up and said, "Hey, you want to have another beer? I got a cooler of beers in my car, like 2 o'clock in the morning." And we wind up breaking night, knowing that we had a 6 a.m. flight. So we
Yes.
wind up going to Eric's hotel and staying till like 3-something in the morning. Then we got an Uber driver that didn't know how to drive 15 minutes. It took him 45 minutes to do a 15-minute ride back to our hotel. So we wind up getting at our hotel like an hour before we had to leave.
Yes.
And we broke night and went straight to the airport.
Yeah, we essentially went straight from the con to the airport. Like the only real reason we stopped back at the hotel is because we had to check out and our stuff was there. We essentially could have just stayed at Eric's hotel for the, if we had our stuff and had checked out, we could have just went to the fucking plane from there. But yeah, that's hindsight. But yeah,
Eric brought up a great point too that we totally bypassed, even though I was trying to not necessarily highlight our stuff over others, but we announced GM Roulette to the world and on
We
Saturday.
actually play tested it.
Yeah.
a couple of, not as much as we would have liked to.
Right.
We'll go. We'll like. Yeah.
Well, Sunday for me, the con was actually pretty good. My wife and I got up. We got to the con probably around 10 o'clock in the morning, and we hung out there till 4 till we went to the airport. Only to realize I made a huge faux pas, and we were supposed to leave the next day. But that's a whole nother story.
No, how did that happen? Explain this to me.
There's
Eric today.
I literally, it's just me. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I somehow booked a flight for the next day. I thought I booked it for the same day.
So did you check out of the hotel and made it to the airport? So you had to go back and recheck into the hotel? Yeah,
we spent another night at the hotel. It was cool though, And so we flew home Monday. It was still good. And I'm with Eric. I'm with Eric. Eric said, "Fuck that. Be proud of it, boys." I am proud. I'm proud that we actually did announce GM Roulette. It actually lights a fire under our asses to get things together and get things done. That alpha test taught us a few things. And I have to say something about one thing about GM Roulette that, that I saw, that it is proof of concept. We actually had a person sit at the table who had never GM'd before, ever, and ended up being first GM, and she was awesome. She got the narrative beats down. She understood what was going on. Mechanics in Cypher System, we all know mechanics in Cypher System are not really a thing. They're a thing, but you know what? I sat there basically as an observer where I could help out with those things. But we had two people who had never run Cypher, and both of them literally got to run portions of the game before we had to break stuff up. So I can honestly say proof of concept, it works. And we just got some more work to do. We got a few things to do.
Yeah, it was definitely nice though that Monte Cook Games gave us the floor during the party to actually tell people about it. There's been whisperings and rumors or whatever you want. We've talked about it, but that was like an actual announcement. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
So we did make it home. As you can see, I'm home. Everybody's home. GameholeCon for me, final thoughts, guys. My final thought on it is it was a great experience. I'm definitely looking forward to doing this one next year.
Before you do your final thoughts, we have a bunch of other questions, random questions about GameholeCon that.
We did. I missed questions. Where they at?
Yeah, scroll down on the show notes. Food at the convention. How was it eating at? This is something we can all talk about because you go to a lot of conventions. I think that Wisconsin actually did a great job with their food trucks.
They had a variety. They had a good variety of food.
At first, they were different. They didn't have the amount that you would say get at something like
Gen Con. They didn't have as many as they had at Gen Con, but the variety was there and the quality was on point. The quality was definitely on point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite good. Again, there was maybe I would say one, two, three, like 5 to 6 different trucks, maybe five, but they were all different kinds of trucks, so the variety was definitely there. And the foods, I mostly had the tacos from that one taco truck. It was quite tasty, very good. I can't really speak about much of the other stuff, but the tacos were very, very tasty.
And uh,
They also
the
had
ribs,
food in the
the
con as well.
the rib truck was great. The smokehouse truck, I got a half a rack of ribs. I swear it was a whole rack. I was like, here, you eat some of these too, Anthony.
Oh, the cookie vendor. Thank you so much. The cookie vendor
Yes.
I don't know who made these like salted chocolate chip, those things, especially when you went to the booth and brought them when you what you call it, like fresh when they were warm, those things melted in your mouth. They were so good. I should have bought some of those for the plane ride.
Yeah, they were super tasty.
Yeah, they were really, really good. I'm sorry that I can't think of the name of the what's the name of the, if anybody knows the name of the cookie vendor.
Oh, it was like Wonder something. It started with a W.
Yeah, it was so good.
I don't know.
I will also say this, as someone who is an avid coffee drinker, that little coffee stand that was downstairs was also excellent.
Yeah.
It was right next to the ice cream booth. I don't know if they're affiliated or whatever. But that coffee booth was the MVP.
And the ice cream booth. The ice cream was good too. Wonder Cookie. Thank you so much. They were wonderful.
Yes. But the
The
coffee
was good. The coffee was good. Listen, they had bourbon infused ice cream, so the ice cream was good. I'm sorry. It was called, what?
I bought it and gave me a
You didn't
bite
like it?
I like it.
I liked it a
I
lot.
enjoyed the hell out of it. It's called
Exhausted Parent.
the Exhausted Parent, and it was espresso, chocolate chips, and bourbon in ice cream. It was a banger. I had mine
It was
in a
delicious.
waffle cone, and I enjoyed mine. And my wife didn't eat all hers, and I enjoyed the rest of hers. I like it.
But then again, I'm not the best judge of that because I don't like liquor in my ice cream.
I don't know. I'm not much of a drinker, and I didn't taste it at all.
Yeah,
Those tacos were good. I actually tried.
The tacos.
Oh, and there was also a place called Pho. They did rice bowls. Those rice bowls were bangers too.
Oh, the grilled cheese truck. We go back. The grilled cheese truck, the grilled panini truck, they were bangers too. They were really, really good. All right, so let's move on for food because we'll be talking about this forever. So what purchases you guys made at the con?
Oh,
I got a piece of artwork commissioned, superheroes that I created for my wife and I. So I got those done up. I also bought Better Angels, which is a superhero RPG where you play a superhero, but you have a demon version, so you're like a fallen angel and you have this demon that you have to contend with. And it's kind of cool because it kind of reminds me of the companion rules because the person at the table plays your demon. It's pretty cool. I bought Rest in Pieces by Peter Petruccia. That game is going to be great. They basically use a Jenga tower for action resolution, and you basically play slacker roommates who live with these wild iconic characters. It starts out basically with you live with the Grim Reaper, but there's also expansions where you can live with Vigo from Ghostbusters 2. You could live with the Game Master who just happened to move to Hawaii when he retired in the 80s and was actually the Dungeon Master, but corporate America won't let him use his name anymore. Cthulhu, Rick from Rick and Morty. It's like crazy. It's like awesome. And what else? Al bought me a nice little spinner die, which was kind of cool. Of course, I always buy some dice. I bought some miniatures, and I bought a novel by from that author Jerry. It's called At Fault, and I bought a couple of books, a couple of writer tool books as well, which is pretty freaking cool.
You bought me the Predation mouse pad as well.
Oh yeah, and I bought mouse pads. I got Anthony one. I got one as well. Yeah, so I bought a few things. It's a good time.
I went into that thing is awesome. I got that one. Dean bought me that one, and I got the Invisible Sun one as my prize at the
Right, and I got the same one. We got the same ones, Anthony. I got the Invisible Sun one and that one.
And since we're talking about it, before we move on, I actually, when my Monty Cook Games party gift was the Stealing Stories mouse pad, but I'm blanking on who it was. But there was a group of people talking about Predation, and I was like, "Oh, I love Predation. Predation is my favorite game of all the Monty Cook games." Blah blah blah. And they said, "Oh, hold on a second." They went into their bag and they whipped this guy out, and they were just gonna give it to me, and that was amazing to me. But instead of him just giving it to me, I gave him my Stealing Stories one. But yeah, I'm sorry I'm blanking on who you are, but thank you again for this.
Yeah, we also. You wanna? I'll go to my purchases because I don't think I bought as much as you, Al. But I bought 2 Goblin plushies for my twin boys. I actually bought. I didn't realize this, but I think I bought mostly Free League stuff. I bought Mork Borg. I don't know if you guys could see this, right? Which is I really wanted to play this game. I bought the Alien RPG starter set. I only the base game, but when we interviewed him, he started talking about the adventure in the starter set. So it made me interested. So I bought that. I bought the Ruin Quest 6 edition starter set. Don't think I'll ever play it, but Ruin Quest is a game I played as a teenager, so it was just nostalgic for me. I bought this game called Ethereum by Anvil 8 Games. It was pitched to, we also interviewed them, but it was pitched to me as what was it? Tron meets
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, and it sounded really cool, and the artwork was kick ass. So I purchased that, and it came with a free. I'm also a sucker for like dice that are meant for one particular system, and it came with the dice. So I was like, freaking, I'll purchase that. And I bought one other. Oh, I bought the zombie horror game Infected because it looked really cool. I purchased that. And I bought the dice. We found silicone dice at Gamehole Con. Those are those wacky bouncy dice from the weird Kickstarter. Me and Al finally managed to catch the last 2 sets.
I think we bought literally the only 2 sets that were there when we went to the vendor hall.
Yeah.
Because no other booths had it.
I think that was it. I didn't buy anything else. Oh, and I also won 2 sets of $80 dice playing Plinko. And Al paid for both of them, so I felt bad. So I gave him the second set.
And with a little bit of groveling thrown in there. But yes, I definitely was quite jealous.
A little begging involved.
Yeah. What you call it?
Yeah, she makes the silicone dice. Let me see if I have it.
If you have the little, it was like DMG or something.
No, it's metal dice games or whatever. Hold on, I'll tell you the name.
MDG. The company's name is MDG.
MDG.
Dice Games.
Yeah. There we go. They're quite nice. We got the same colors. I guess the booth that was selling them only had that one set. But yeah, I really like. I forget what the colors like, molten. So if you have it, if you can show it, like the color is really nice. It's like a light pink with like speckles in it or something. Not light pink. I'm bad at.
Bag. I actually won back to back.
Yes.
2 times in a row.
He won one day, and then we came back the next day, and he won again. And then he finally lost on the last day.
But that's because you didn't answer correct. Both times, I blame Al why I lost, right? Both times, Al would say, hey, you want to play this? And the first time I didn't have any money, like any cash on me. So I was like, I don't have any cash. And Al would say, I got you, right? And then I'll be like, okay, I'll play then. And then I won. The next day we walked past the booth. I'll say, yo, you want to play again? And I was like, I don't have any cash on me. I would say, I got you. And then I won, right? The last time I had to go, ow, I don't have any cash on me. So I messed up I killed my mojo. I blame Al for not asking me by playing exactly the way. We would have had, D would have had a pair of metal dice.
No, he would have had the discontinued witch's candle, whatever. That's all that was left.
Oh yeah.
Those discontinued dice. I'm blanking on the name of them, but there's like some discontinued D&D dice. That's all that was left at the end.
It was the witch-like dice.
There we go. But yeah, that's a moot point because we broke the ritual and Anthony didn't win.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as what I got, I bought way more than I was expecting to, quite honestly. I did not expect to buy a single book. I went in there thinking I wasn't going to buy any dice. Boy, was I wrong. So on top of playing the Plinko game 3 times, so that's regardless of winning the premium set, you won a set regardless. So there was 3 sets from that. Then I bought a couple of grab bags, like random, dice bags from a booth. That was 2 more sets of dice. I got the spinner dice because I couldn't resist. It was cool. It was cheap, $6. It was very ornate, nice, hefty weight to it. Probably.
Nice. I hated it.
I like it. I like it for the novelty of it. I probably wouldn't use it in a game, but it's a nice novelty. I got a tiny set of metal dice. Take it easy, Eric. And as far as books go, I got Ryutama. I bought what was the other book I bought? Oh, I bought the Regency, the newest book from the Call of Cthulhu people. It's like Call of Cthulhu set in Jane Austen's England. And I don't know anything about Call of Cthulhu or Jane Austen's England, but my family really loves not Call of Cthulhu, the Jane Austen, like that sort of genre of drama, whatever. So I picked it up because I knew they'd love it, and I also picked up the Call of Cthulhu starter set so I could learn how to play Call of Cthulhu. Apparently the Chaosium Inc. Is it Chaosium Inc.? Correct me if I'm wrong. That makes Call of Cthulhu?
Yes.
So their starter sets come with solo adventures that you play by yourself that teach you the rules to the game. So I'm very excited to sit down and try that out, especially since we've been talking more about solo play in general. I'm really excited to see how they went about that setup that, you could teach yourself the game by sitting down and like doing this solo adventure by yourself. I also got finally the 10th anniversary Monty Cook Games adventure book. Now I feel like I'm missing something. 1 second. My books are right here that I got. We'll just whip them out right here. Here's the Regency book. We got the 10th anniversary book. Oh, and the last book I ended up buying, which I said I was done buying books, but I couldn't resist it, was Monster Care Squad. Again, I don't know anything about this book other than the basic premise of adventurers go out, or they take care of monsters that people are afraid of, so they have to traverse dangerous terrain and habitats and whatnot to help these dangerous monsters. But the art is just lovely. It's what sold me on it. And I don't know why it's the exact page I pulled up, but this image here was the exact image that sold me on it. It was this fat little dragon hanging out in a tree. And after seeing that, I was like, oh, I gotta get this book. I don't know why. There's other tons of great detailed art in it, but that cute little fat dragon in a tree sold me. And I think that's about the gist of everything I got at Gamehole Con.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us spent more than we were expecting. I know it's in chat.
I'm sorry, and I meant to say too, and I also got a plushie of the Grim Reaper.
And speaking of, I also got 4 plushies, squishables for all my family. So 1 for my 2 girlfriends, 1 for my husband, 1 for my stepdaughter. And I also, as a final purchase, because I couldn't resist, there was a very nice leather-bound red sketchbook or notebook, whatever is, pages with no lines. But it was Egyptian themed. And if you know me, I love my Egyptian themed stuff. So I definitely picked that notebook up as well. It's far away from me. I don't want to go get it right now. But yeah, that was my last purchase.
My Talented wife mentioned drink coffee, crush skull shirt. I saw that on Twitter. Saw you wearing it on Twitter. That was an awesome shirt. And she also mentioned North Foundry dice. That dice was freaking awesome. It was a little on the pricey side, but those dice, their booth was like looking at, craftsmanship. Like, but
And
yeah, they were.
if you want to talk about craftsmanship, also don't forget Wormwood with those freaking gaming tables. Oh my God, those gaming tables were brilliant.
I mean, good on you if you could go to a convention and buy one of those. Like, damn.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, that's like $3,000-$4,000 though. These tables, but they
They're
were
gorgeous. Oh my God.
We're currently talking to North Foundry for a giveaway, and I think they've committed to give away some dice. So hopefully they'll give us a cool set.
That would be lovely.
Oh, and speaking of dice, I don't know if you've redeemed yours yet, but MCG has released the Path of the Planebreaker Deluxe dice as well as the regular dice. Both sets are pretty. Oh my God.
I usually wait till I get more stuff so I could get them like built into one order. Because they charge $7 anyway, and I learned my lesson, like redeeming one time. Like I wait till I get like 4 or 5 books. Oh, not 4 or 5 books, but 4 or 5 items, so I could ship it all at one time.
What happened? It always happens to me. I'll wait for like these number of items, and then 2 more things come out right after I order. Right after I redeem my coupon.
I mean, that's how it is being a Monte Good Games fan. They do have a steady stream of stuff.
All right, so now that we went over purchases, guys, what's your overall experience at the con?
Oh, phenomenal. I definitely going back next year. I even said it like this, and not to jinx or anything. I was like, even if we cut ties with Monte Good Games, things go to shit, like, I will still go to that convention. It was that fun. Like, it was a very nice size. There was enough to do without being overwhelming. The people were very friendly. The vendors were very friendly. The food was very good. Like, I can't say enough nice things about the convention. Like I said, even if we end up for whatever reason stop doing all this, I would still go. That's how nice it is.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Being a native New Yorker, you always hear the sayings, Midwest hospitality. Wisconsin is the epitome of that. I don't think I met one rude person the entire 5 days I was there. From the airport to the hotel to wherever we went to eat, everyone was super nice.
Remember when we went to Walgreens to get supplies? That was so funny because they were like, "What company y'all work for?" Oh, we don't work because we had our badges on. We had our com badges on. What company y'all work for? Oh, we don't work for a company. We're here. Y'all doing what? It was great.
Yeah, everyone was super nice. Yeah, I love that. I just love the way we were treated.
Yeah, like I said, Gamehole Con was a good con. I've been to quite a few, but this is by far one of the best I've ever been to. So,
anything you regret not doing or trying while at the con?
Not fighting more with the Boffer LARP thing. I wanted to fight more.
You know what? I think all my regrets had to do with I regret not playing I played in one game. And a lot of that had to do with we had the exhibitor badges, because we got the badges for MCG, and we couldn't log in because we had exhibitor badges to purchase. So like every time we wanted to do something, we had to physically like re-log in to the thing. And I kind of regret that. I think next year I'm gonna make there was a lot of games I wanted to try out that every con I always go play a game I've never played before, and I didn't do that this year. So, I mean, that was my one regret. Like I wanted to try out Morg Borg. There was a couple of games I wanted to try out, and I didn't get to try out anything. So
yeah, that's probably the only thing I could say is I didn't play any games. I mean, I ran games, but I didn't, except for playing the one game with Charles. I probably would have liked to have played a few more things, and even if it was a game I played already, just to be a player would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The game with Charles was fantastic. It was awesome, but it was also Cypher system. I usually like to go to con to play something I've never played before. Like just a game that I'm interested in, or I want to like learn more about. I'll go sit down there. even something that we play, like something like BCC, which we haven't played in years, just go play that or something. I didn't do any of that.
And just to piggyback off that sentiment, I would love to next time I'm definitely gonna do it. I know I mentioned Tidal Blades while we were there. I didn't run it. I definitely am the more chilled back of us, so I don't want to like run around doing events at a certain time. So me personally, I want to make more personal time to sit down at most likely the lounge and just game with people from CU, game with people who are interested about Cypher system who don't never played it before. I know MCG wasn't running demos this year, but maybe next year. I love doing the demos for Predation during Gen Con 2018. So maybe unofficially, I'll just sit there doing demos for them. You know what I mean? Because that was a lot of fun for me too. But those two things definitely want to change next time.
Yeah, sorry guys. I think we rambled on long enough on this video. This is really long. I mean, I guess the ultimate final statement is that we will all definitely return to Gamehole Con. Monty Cook Games is definitely returning to Gamehole Con. We want more people from not only the CU community, but fans of Monty Cook Games to join us at Gamehole Con. And let's make this the MCG Con going forward. I think we can really do that, guys. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll get, all the Monty Cook Games fans we could possibly get, and it was phenomenal just from us. It was phenomenal for us to spend more time with the MCG team. It was great to see Latia. It was absolutely great to see Tammy, to talk to Bruce, Charles, Sean, Javier, Bear, to be able to hang out with all of them. It was phenomenal. They've shown us nothing but love since the day one we met them, and that hasn't changed one bit. And we truly, truly appreciate and love them. I'm gonna move right into our spiel because I think we about 40 minutes over what our time is. So if you like us and you like what we do, join the Cypher Unlimited Discord server for all things Monty Cook Games. We have the largest fan-run Discord server for everything Monty Cook Games. If you want to play games, you want to talk about games, you want to run games, we have close to 4,500 members there and growing. But if Discord's not for you, join our Facebook group. It's not as big as our Discord, but there's still great conversations being had there as well. Give us a sub here on Twitch or follow us on Twitch. It'll be greatly appreciated. Or please go to our YouTube channel and like, share, and subscribe there. We hit 1,000 member goal and we really appreciate it. But let's push this thing further, guys. You want to help us out financially in any way? Our videos are always free, but go to our Ko-fi, give us a little donation there. Helps us out with little things like Zoom calls. Or visit our online store and pick up some cool Cypher Unlimited merch. Or, I forgot, I bought this Gamehole Con t-shirt too, guys. Pick up some cool Cypher Unlimited merch like the shirt Dean got on or the hat I got on. And last but not least, we love you guys.
Yeah, and soon capes in the merch store. Soon, TM. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for coming on, chatting with us about Gamehole Con. It was a blast. We will be back next year for sure. So from us at the CU, we will see you later.
Bye, guys.